day trader or for the very, very short-term investor. And the second is I will be drawing reference to Hero, Honda and TVS, both excellent companies, but the comparison will be somewhere relative and does not mean to demean any of these companies. So it's more of a comparison to make sure that everybody gets the picture right. Now when we talk of Bajaj Auto today, one of the basic mistakes that I see happening is one looks at Bajaj Auto in isolation and without looking at the consolidated picture. The thing in India today is consolidation of accounts has come in only recently, and therefore whether the analyst or whether the investor is much more comfortable looking at the individual picture rather than looking at the consolidated numbers. Now in the case of Bajaj Auto, what we have is three companies actually. One is Bajaj Auto, the automobile company, as you understand. Then there's the finance company, which is one of the biggest and fastest growing companies in the consumer sector, barring, of course, the NBFC in terms of ICICI, HDFC. And then we have a jewel in the crown called Bajaj Allianz. These are the two insurance companies. Many times it is through lack of knowledge or lack of understanding that people tend to ignore the other two companies, especially the Allianz issues, and I think that that's where someone needs to start paying attention and looking at the numbers to get the overall picture. When one talks of PEs and talks of earnings per share, etc., one still looks at Bajaj Auto as a standalone, but one doesn't focus and look into the business of the insurance companies. In July I was in Europe, met investors. I was in Singapore last month. And what you see is most of the queries today are coming on the insurance because more and more the FIs want to participate in insurance, which is a growing segment. Look at the numbers that are coming out. If you look at the total growth, you see, while Bajaj Auto's turnover has gone from 52 billion to 63 billion, general insurance, which was 4.8, has gone up to 8.6 billion. Life insurance, which is 2.2 billion, has gone up to 10 billion rupees or 1,000 crores. Now, this is something that one needs to keep in mind when talking of Bajaj Auto, because as you may be aware, Bajaj Auto has 74% stake in the insurance ventures and 47% stake in the retail finance. If one looks at Bajaj Auto's consolidated numbers also, you will see the revenues of insurance growing up from 3.7 to 14.3 billion, and from a total turnover which is not reflected over there, 56 billion, has gone up to 77 billion. There again, insurance contributing. Now, 87% of the business of the consolidated thing which came from auto, in the increased turnover, it has gone to 77%. Again, when you look at the profits, from 4 crores of profits in 0304, insurance has started contributing 40 crores. Now, mind you, in insurance, what happens is the first 3 to 4 years in general, you do not make a profit, and that's when later on the profit comes. As far as life goes, the break-even point is somewhere after about 8 years. Fortunately for us, general has already started breaking profits, and life is expected to show profits much before the norm of about 8 years. So please keep this in mind when you're talking of looking at Bajaj Auto and an investment in that. I'll now go to the automobile part of the business. Today we are very fortunate to be in the automobile business, especially the two-wheeler business in India, primarily because this industry has a robust growth, historical and future. It gives very good return on operating capital, extremely high EBITDA margins, and more importantly, it is a consolidated market with all the Japanese players by and large being in India, and we do not see any further threat from outsiders, whether the Chinese or someone else. The reason why I mentioned to you is don't look at monthly numbers or quarterly numbers is because in India, two-wheelers follows a cyclical pattern every year. You will normally see April, May, June showing a rise, followed by a decline in July, August, September, and then again a surge in October, November, December. But year on year, you will see that the growth pattern has always shown a higher growth of approximately 12 to 15%. Again, if you look at the green line, the October number, November number has tapered down, which is a surge in October, is again the timing of Diwali. Whether Diwali comes in October, November, or October, both the months, and also please look at it as a long-term trend, and the long-term trend for us is always positive to the extent of 12 to 15%. You do get a few years where there's a slight decline because of some drought or flood or whatsoever, but it catches up in the next year.